welcome to FunkStudios Control the Cool. We hear Slim Sully and also Joe Woods. Here to talk about something very powerful and heartfelt. BREONNA Taylor incident, big situation, man. So, Joe, start off on that one, man. Let us know, let the people know what really happened.
Well, as you know, a lot of you probably seen the interview that was the Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron gave. Basically, it wasn't a indictment for what happened to Breonna Taylor. It was mainly a victory for the neighbor. Let's just put that out there. The neighbor, the white neighbor with the husband, and I guess she was pregnant or something, or she had a little baby or something like that. It was a victory for them.
Wow.
Because they got justice for the reckless shooting that went on during the raid. So let that sink in. I mean, let that really sink in. That the Walls and the neighbor got justice over Breonna, who got killed.
Thorough and complete knowledge of all evidence collected in this case, lawyers with our Office of Special Prosecutions presented the findings of our independent investigation before a grand jury comprised of Jefferson County residents beginning on Monday and concluding today. In Fletcher v. Graham, the Kentucky Supreme Court said that the grand jury has competing but balanced functions. On the one hand, its purpose is to investigate allegations of criminal conduct and determine if there is probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed. On the other, the grand jury serves to protect the public against unfounded criminal prosecutions where probable cause is lacking. The grand jury is unique in our criminal justice system because it operates independent of the court and the prosecutor. The hallmark of the grand jury is its independence from outside influence. This independence is necessary to ensure that justice is done both for the victims and for the accused. After hearing the evidence from our team of prosecutors, the grand jury voted to return an indictment against Detective Hankison for 3 counts of wanton endangerment for wantonly placing the 3 individuals in apartment 3 in danger of serious physical injury or death. The charge of wanton endangerment in the first degree is a Class D felony, and if found guilty, the accused can serve up to 5 years for each count. Kentucky law states that a person is guilty of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to the value of human life, he wantonly engages in conduct which creates a substantial danger of death or serious physical injury to another person. My office is prepared to prove these charges at trial.
Every time I think about that, they're saying that he got charged for the bullet holes in the other person's property. A piece of plaster or sheetrock, something non-living, has more rights than a living and breathing African-American woman who was somebody that was good in her community, helping people to save lives.
Definitely. I mean, what is it? The officer, Brett Hankison. Now, he got fired. He got indicted, but he also got fired. Okay. And like I say, he got fired not because of the shooting of Breonna, but he got fired because of the reckless abandonment, shooting all over the apartment building. He got fired. Now, the other guys, Myles Cosgrove and Sgt. Jonathan Mattingly, they got nothing. Not a damn thing. Okay. Now you figure Cosgrove, he shot 6 times. Jonathan shot 16 times. Okay. I don't know how many times Hankison shot. I think he might have. No, he shot 10 times. Hankison shot 10 times. Okay. And of course, the backlash saying, well, it was justifiable because the boyfriend shot first. Okay. And they said they had a no-knock warrant. But they said they claimed that they knocked anyhow, and they announced themselves as police. But if that were the case, why would the boyfriend still shoot? If he so-called heard it, if they announced it, or they announced it loud enough, why would the boyfriend still shoot out? Because he's not a criminal. And by the way, folks, he's not the drug dealer. He is the current boyfriend. The drug dealer was the one that she used to date a year ago. Okay? And the kicker is he was already in custody before the raiding started. They were looking, they had a warrant for the house, but they were looking for this man. But he was already in custody.
Wow. I didn't see. That's something I didn't even realize, brother. Wow.
He was already in custody. So they didn't even need to be there. Okay. And on top of that, they lied all over the place. They lied and said they contacted the postmaster and saying they had suspicious packages sent to our house. And the postmaster was like, we didn't hear nothing about that. I wasn't notified. So it was just kind of crazy, And what's his name? Attorney General Daniel Cameron, he said that, well, there's a witness who verified that they knocked and announced themselves. Check it out, all right? Now, Breonna Taylor's lawyer interviewed 11 witnesses who live in that building, and none of them said they heard a thing. Okay. Now, the New York Times did their own interview. Okay, they interviewed 12 people. And out of the 12 people, one person said that, they heard it. They heard that they knocked and they claimed that they said they called the police. But check it.
Mm-hmm.
They grilled him 3 times. The first 2 times, he stuck with the case. I didn't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
The third time is when he buckled and said, okay, I heard something, And Attorney General Cameron neglected to say that. Neglected to let everybody know that not only did he change his story after 3 times of being interrogated, but he neglected to say that there was also, 20 other people that they interviewed, 20 plus people that they interviewed that claimed and said that they did not hear anything.
That's crazy because my math used to say if you got 19 people saying it didn't happen, you got one that said it did. Usually it didn't happen, and for them to have to pressure the person to get to the point to say it happened, that's obviously something wrong right there. They bullied him to make a statement. The statement that they wanted to use to get things going their way.
I mean, they claim and say it was justified. I mean, it was justifiable. Okay, but here's a couple things that I don't understand. All right, if it was justifiable, then why did you pay him $12.9 million? Okay, if it was justifiable, then why did Brett Hankison get fired? Why did he get indicted on wanton endangerment? Because he shot through the walls and endangered this white family. Okay? Why did the boyfriend who shot the cop get let go with no charges against him?
Wow.
Okay? If it was justifiable, why did all those things happen? If it was, they shouldn't have got paid. Hankison should still have his job. The current boyfriend should be in jail for a very long time if it was justifiable. Okay, but I mean, it's inconsistent. Why was it wrong when they shot through the walls, but it wasn't wrong when they shot through BREONNA?
Exactly. This stuff right here, it's such a bad pattern. You know, I was looking at something that somebody posted, and they were showing all the unarmed black people that got killed and how the heavily armed white people got arrested. And I said it looked like a tic-tac-toe. You know, everybody black getting X'd out, you know, and the whites are getting omitted. You understand? They're allowed to do what they're doing, getting pats on the back, getting Wendy's and Burger King, and making sure you're hydrated, and slapping them fives, and, you know, nice pillow for their head. You know, you want a massage for your you know, your neck and your legs or whatever? Are you tired? You know, all that stuff, that treatment, the VIP spa treatment, because you did a good job of killing people that we don't like.
And there was one where this one white guy killed 2 cops. He like fought and beat up and killed 2 cops, and they didn't do nothing to him. He made it back alive. I guess they didn't feel that their lives weren't that threatened, but yet they're dead.
And that's even, man. You see so many videos where white cops taking their tasing them, stealing their cars, driving away. Mm-hmm. Because it's no matter what you do, they don't hold the standard of us being living or alive or equal to them. We're looked at as nothing. Not even a dog, not even a wall. You understand? We're not even as valuable enough as that. So, yeah, let's erase all the things we don't want to be there.
It's a shame. I mean, it just blows my mind, you know. And not only that, why did you feel that 20 plus bullets was justifiable to 1? Okay, and you were shooting through the window. You pretty much surrounded. You know, Batter ran the door. You know? Mm-hmm. And yes, he shot you because he didn't know who you were.
Exactly.
You know,
how would you have a no knock law and a stand down law in the same area? You understand? How would you have that? So you bust through the door as a cop, don't announce yourself, and somebody standing their ground. Oh, I'm gonna pull out the gun because I'm licensed to carry. We can do that here, and I'm gonna shoot you because you coming for me. You're endangering me. So that's probably another reason why that got waived off. He was actually in his right to do that.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, he definitely was. I'm just like, because he like I said, he called after the fact. Well, he called him after the fact, you know. But he said, well, he told him that it's like this person, whoever they were banging on the door for a good 35, 40 seconds. You know, just banging on the door. It woke them up out of their sleep. It was after 12 midnight, and when they woke up, they were trying to. They were yelling, "Who is it?" And they wouldn't tell them who it was. So, and they said as soon as they came out and they said, "Who was it?" They said, "Boom!" That's when they rammed the door. And when they rammed the door, that's when he fired and he hit the cop. And then next thing you know, you're hailing bullets at him. Yeah. I mean, isn't the protocol? I mean, you shoot twice. I mean, like at least two warning shots and then announce yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they barricade in. When they barricade in, then they say, "This is the police. Hold your fire." They didn't say none of that. Yeah. And plus, they didn't have any body cams on.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah. They try to say that, well, we're dressed in plain clothes, so of course we can't wear body cams. Says who?
You coming house plain clothes. I don't know who you are. Plain clothes, not announcing who you are. Just busting through the door. My instinct is to protect my life. And I had a weapon there to do that. So that's what I went to do. You know, it makes sense for the person to try to protect themselves in that situation.
And you're trying to blame everybody, you know, the backlash of, well, it's her boyfriend's fault for getting her killed because he shot. I'm like, hello? He's trying to protect his family because that was his future wife. They had planned on getting married. And if someone's banging on the door and then bust in plain clothes and don't tell them who they are, yo, they're going to get that smoke.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And how you justify 20 plus bullets to one? 20 plus to one bullet. Come on. You know?
This is how dare you. It's how dare you. You understand?
Yeah.
Overkill. It's being overzealous. You know? And there was something I wanted to touch on. Like, I mean, recently they said that, you know, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal actually chimed in on it and made some remarks that people didn't really think were good for them to say, especially at this time after the verdict. It was untimely, whether they felt like that or not. It was untimely in my opinion. But basically they were saying that you cannot group this death of Breonna Taylor in with, you know, the George Floyd or Ahmaud Arbery type of situations. They're saying it's different because they felt like it was justified because the boyfriend shot at them. Now they retaliated. So I beg to differ because of the real situation and circumstances. But sometimes you have opinions, and sometimes it's times for you not to say what you feel, especially on a large, you know, scale. Everybody sees inside the NBA. You understand? And for you to say that, it's not helpful. I'm a little bit disappointed. You know, more on Shaq because I was somebody that I really, you know, followed and looked up to, you know. But at the same time, Shaq is like considered down with the police, you know, a little sheriff and stuff like that. So I guess he's looking for it from that standpoint of a police officer retaliating for somebody shooting at them. But if the police didn't come in there in plain clothes, without announcing themselves, breaking through the door, this would not have happened.
Well, I'm not surprised because both Shaq and Barkley was always shutting their job, tap dancing. They're always tap dancing. They're always saying something out their ass that's just outlandish that makes them just brutal. So I'm not surprised. They're just always. The only person that I like is Kenny Anderson. He keeps it. You know, Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith. He always keeps it real. Always. Them two right there, they just. I just shake my head every time they tweet. But I mean, but it's understandable if the cops are going to shoot. Of course, they're going to shoot back. They're getting shot up. Of course, they're going to shoot back. But like I said, 1-2, you know, and then you try to announce yourself like, yo, we're the police, but they didn't do that. They riddled the place with bullets, and they were shooting recklessly all over. They didn't even know who they were shooting at, just shooting.
Yeah.
That's why they went through the walls, went upstairs. There was an old black woman upstairs that got affected because they were shooting the way they were shooting. But they didn't mention her. They neglected to mention her, but they mentioned the white folks in the 3A. I think it was like 3A, yeah. You know, she was in there with her husband and the baby, you know. So they got justice for her.
Of course. The system is not a system that's for us, and it will never be for us. You have to make a whole new system because this system, no matter how many band-aids or things you write over, will never be for us. So we should not expect that. This is the same stuff that continues to happen year after year after year. All right, we're just seeing it even more. You understand? Before we had all this social media and all these high-tech phones, it was harder they can brush a lot more under the rug. Yeah. But even though we're seeing it, they're still getting away with it. You understand? So it's kind of worse. You either go from the fact of not being able to see it to, oh, you're seeing it and going through all the emotional points of it and still see that they still do the same thing. And we have to deal with that, right?
Well, we'll see what happens because your lawyer is trying to make them show the transcripts because they're figuring out why weren't the other two guys indicted, or were they even brought up to be indicted? Because the Attorney General Cameron, he didn't mention that at all. You know, and I'm sorry, he was the king of shucking and jiving that day. He's the king. I mean, the stuff that came out of his mouth, I was just like, wow. Wow. So they're gonna try. I don't know how successful they'll be, but they're gonna try to see the transcripts because everybody's wondering why weren't the other two indicted? You know? And matter of fact, where was the fourth cop who wasn't there? He's the one that got the illegal no knock warrant. Where was he at? He was nowhere to be found. He wasn't even there. And it was just boring.
He's the one that probably got signed for the one or whatever, got it, and then say, hey, you can use this right here. You know, I don't have to be there. I got something else to do, so you're good. You know.
And another thing that people know, Breonna Taylor was considered a soft target, not a threat. But yet, we felt the need to battle ram the door down for a soft threat. Because supposedly they went in there looking for drugs and money and stuff like that. He said the ex-boyfriend was dropping stuff off. But the ex-boyfriend said, I ain't never had something. Never in my life did I ever have drugs or money in that place. Yeah. You know, because they were saying they were trying to they was going to try to cut a plea with him, say if you say Breonna was part of the drug ring, we'll lessen the charges. He was like, no, I'm not going for that. It's like, she was never part of it. She had nothing to do with this at all. She was never involved. I never involved her. And when they went in the house and raided the house, they found nothing. Nothing. Forget the fact that they shouldn't even be there. Because they were looking for him. They were looking for the boyfriend. But he was already arrested. They already had him detained. But yet you still did the raid.
Yeah. Makes no sense. They had an agenda. They had an agenda, definitely. Maybe that was some of their drug money.
You never know. And being that she's a soft target, okay, why couldn't you just, say, this is the police, with the little bullhorn, this is the police, we already surrounded, we want you to come out, blah, 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 and all that jazz. But they did none of that. They did so-called knock and announce, and then bully their way in on a soft target. Now the boyfriend, he said, like I said, he didn't know what was going on. Him and Breonna.
This what? Because I'm not sure what time of night was this.
It was after midnight that this happened.
That's. I mean, most of the time people are not expecting anybody after midnight. Unannounced, hanging on the door. It could be some type of crazy guy at the door. You don't know.
Well, the boyfriend thought it was the ex.
Oh, see?
See, he thought it was the ex because the ex didn't like Breonna with him. So when he heard all that banging on the door, and when they were saying who is it, and they didn't announce himself, he thought maybe it was the ex-boyfriend coming in to start some trouble. That's why he grabbed his piece. And so when they barricaded the door down, that's when he pulled the gun and he just shot. He didn't know who it was. At the most, he thought it was the boyfriend coming across trouble. So
there's a lot of dynamics to this, man, but all of it results to being wrong. I'm tired of seeing this stuff, man. I'm just being honest with you. I'm tired of seeing anything happen. We have no respect for female. Black women are not being looked at as something that's priceless. Black men is the same thing. But you know, it gets you to the point where you just don't want to see the news because you know what's going to happen when you do see the news. You don't want to see something happen like this because you know what the outcome is going to be, you know, because over the years, it's been the same thing. It's like a bad rerun, a bad show, a show like that keeps happening. I think it was like something like 51st, 100, or 51st Summers or something like that, or I think it was a movie like that or Groundhog Day. You wake up and you see the same thing, and you go back to sleep and you wake up the same thing. And this is the same, every year you're having the same type of stuff happen. It's too much.
It's really crazy. Like I said, I'm just racking my head around the fact that if it's so-called justifiable, why did you pay them? Why did you let the boyfriend go free? Why was the officer fired? Why was the people, the neighbors, getting justice? Okay? Because if it was justifiable, hey, all what they did, they would have did what they did and went on about their business. And nobody would have got it. And they would have looked at them like, and what? Yeah. And it been another day, and everybody would have lost. But some, like I said, they did sloppy work. They should not have been there to begin with. They had no reason to be there because the boyfriend was already in custody. Had no business whatsoever. And you so-called did surveillance, and you was like, well, she's in there by herself. And we're like, no, if you did surveillance, you'd have known that the new boyfriend was in there with her. So what kind of surveillance were you doing?
And you know what's crazy about that? So if they thought she was by herself, you're still breaking in the door? Like, understand, you said she was by herself, but you're going to break in to the soft threat. There's four officers with guns. She's in there just coming off of work, probably tired, probably sleep already. So you got to go down just for what? A one female that's not a threat?
See, there got to be other motives going on. Right? Yeah, you got to do something else. Soft target, you thought she was by herself, and yet you still broke into her house?
They were looking for a payday. I think they thought that, oh, we caught the guy. All right, you know he has some drugs. You know he got money. We're going to get that and either pin it on him and give most of the stuff on evidence, and I'm going to line these pockets, you know, pass it around.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you did your duty. You found a witness who you had to grill 3 times in order to get the answer that you wanted. Neglect to mention that you interviewed 20 plus other people that said, no, they didn't hear anything. They didn't hear him say, they didn't announce himself and everything. You had 20 plus people saying that they didn't do it. And you got one person that you had to grill 3 times in order to get your answer. But neglected to mention any of that during the conference. Neglected to say that. Yeah.
I hope that people, whoever watch this, whether you are for this or against this, if you're against this, pay attention and understand that we don't like what's going on. We don't care if you're upset about us not liking and voicing our opinion about the fact that we don't like what's going on, because if it was the other way around, the race was getting exterminated the way they're trying to exterminate, but it's not really working, because I guess it'd be like baby kids, right? We keep, die, multiply. So we're going to keep on multiplying. So you can be upset, but we're going to keep on multiplying You're not going to wipe us off the face of the earth. It's not going to happen. Now, no matter how hard you try, it's not going to happen. I'm here to tell you. So be mad if you want to. Those who are for this, pay attention. Don't always look at the stuff that they just give you. Like even in the news, when they say it's this way, it's not always that way. And a lot of times when stuff is put out there to you, it's an agenda. Oh, we getting it late. So they'll reveal stuff to you that happened when it's already too late for us to be able to do anything about it. You'll see down the line when all the evidence of this come down and people who have forgotten about this. Let me say something like right now. How often do you hear them talking about George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery today? You understand? Not as often. And that's what happens. We have all these names that were real people that were really getting killed and wiped away, that have families, and after a while people have to live their lives. And they expect you to do the same thing, forget about the people that are dying. Just don't forget. And you know, we always have a segment with the Book of Cool. Usually when they do that, we do it in a way where we show it and we're like, all right, let me get you to find out what it is. Today, we don't want you to wonder what it is. We basically gonna let you know what it is. So the image that we show today is gonna be an image that's representing for Breonna Taylor. So I'm actually did the word, her name, Breonna, because I want y'all to say her name. Say Breonna. Say Breonna. Say Breonna. And this is this art piece I did here just to show some love to her and show some of the things that we're feeling throughout the country, throughout this world, because of the atrocities that's going on in this country alone. It needs to stop.
Definitely. And also, what I'll do in the description, I'm gonna have a link because there's a lot of misinformation going on about what happened. But I'm gonna send a link. It's from the Washington Post, and it's from a guy named Radley Balko, B-A-L-K-O. I'm gonna put that in the link. He gives you all the information and corrections about the misinformation of Breonna Taylor in the case. Okay. For those of you who are dead set on what happened, take a look at that. Okay. And if you have an opinion, leave a comment down below. We'll definitely answer it, or answer to the best of our ability. Whether you agree or disagree, we'll answer that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But this is J-Dub, Joe Woods in the house with my partner Slim Sully. This is FunkStudios, Control the Cool. And as always, we make the rules, so therefore we control.
Peace out. Love, love, love. Be safe out there.